Okay, so hi, I'm Aiman. I'm continuing the series on building this hardtop gazebo. So we're going to start with the first step. We're going to assemble the posts. So you want an A piece. You want to put it on a J bracket and use 1 screws, which, you know, this is the A piece right here. And this is what the J piece looks like. It's triangular. And then you can find your 1 screws, currently not here. Oh, there we go. On the bottom of this. Okay. So you're going to need 12 total of the screws, 4 of the A pieces and 4 of the J pieces. So we'll start over here, so that's just easier to assemble all of them and then move them over. So the A pieces have a little diagonal part. These are for the roof, so you want to put them on the bottom. And then if you see at the bottom, it's completely hollow. So it's completely hollow, but there are holes for the various screws that they should line up as soon as you put them in. So we're going to screw these in using an Allen key. In my case, I'm going to use Milwaukee for this. And you're going to want to do this 4 times. Alright, perfect fit. So this is a number 4. Doesn't say, I guess it's just 4. I'm not really used to using SAE. Oh no, this is 4 millimeters. Okay, so it is a 4 millimeter Allen key. I'll take the time to note that you can actually see my J plate is bent a bit. You can see that all around with these parts, and maybe you can use like pliers to straighten that out. But overall, most of these seem to have okay quality. Not a lot of defects. So if you're using power tools like I am, make sure you use them at the lowest setting, because you don't want to over torque these, because this is an aluminum frame supposedly, so it probably won't be able to handle the higher torques. Just make sure if it's well, this goes up to 30 foot-pounds, and even that is a bit too much. So you want to try to use the variable setting to lightly press on it and not use all the force. I'd probably just stick these on the Allen key and then insert it. So we're gonna start assembling the top beams. So I'm making space right now so I can get these ready and not put them on the brick. But the way that they're gonna go is that we have these 2 B parts. One of them is called B, and the other one's called B1. And they're going to be linked together by that steel. It feels like steel. No, it's aluminum. So by this P part, making sure that this hole is at the top. It's oriented towards the top. So again, we're going to use number 1 screws, and then where's this gonna go? Oh, I think these are curtains, curtain rods. I'm not really sure if we have to put them on right now, but it looks like we should definitely put them on before we put whatever goes in the middle of these. Okay, so let's do it. So let's take a B, and if we look at the instructions, B is going to go on the right of the P, and B1 is going to go on the left, and that's going to happen 4 times. You want to make sure that this is facing the outside of the canopy, because the flat side of this is the outside of the canopy. So that means theoretically, if this is B, we should flip this no, this looks good. You want to make sure that this angled part is facing, you want to orient so that the from your view, the angled part is facing away from you. Then this P part is facing towards you with the hole in the top. Then lastly, this B1 part is also angled with this facing away from you, and is going on top. Okay, so now you want to take some number 1 screws, or number 1, actually I'm not really sure if they're bolts or screws in this case. Comment down below if you have a thought on what to call them. But you're going to need 8 of them per instruction. And you're going to want to insert them. And you can see that there's 4 bolt holes that match up with these 4. Okay. So let's get one in there. And get the second one in there. And you'll see it lines up pretty nicely. So those hooks for the curtain rod, we can still put them on, but we're not going to be able to do that when we put them on the pole, because then the pole is going to block them. So unfortunately, I think we have to put the hooks on right now, because it looks like after we install them, they're ball joints, so we won't be able to insert them just straight into them, into the ridges. That's kind of annoying. And it doesn't look like the this middle hole is used yet. Okay, so you're going to want to tighten all 8 of these screws. And then you want to repeat this process 4 times. And then, I'm probably not going to show it on video, but you want to get all 112 of these U pieces. And if we're using 112, that means that there's going to be 14 on each hook. And there's going to be 7 on each piece. Wait, sorry. For each of these B parts, so there's a B and a B1, each of them is going to have 14, so 14 plus 14, so 28 on each side, which leads to 112 total. But the reason they have 7 on each ridge is because we have both the mosquito net and the curtain. But yeah, we're going to take this footage and we're going to speed it up. So we'll see you after we have all 4 installed. Okay, so now you want to count out 14 for each of these grooves, because 7 are going to go here and 7 are going to go on there. And then 7 on the second ridge, and then 7 on the second ridge over there. And in this case, remember that the outside is facing the bottom. We want to orient it so that the hooks are facing the inside, so that these hooks, in this case, are facing the top. But if we mess that up, I think we should be still be able to rotate them, so don't worry too much about it. So do 14 of these per ridge, and then we'll see you later. All right, and now we have all 28 hooks that we need for this side. So do that 4 more times. Yeah, so now I see why it takes people a lot of time to do this. It definitely would be a good idea to get someone else to help you out. I'm probably gonna get my mom to help me put all the hooks and count them all. But the one question I have is, like, what if we don't have 112 hooks? Hopefully they give us extra. But I guess if we don't have enough of these hooks, then we can just skip some of the curtains holes and try to make that work. Alright, I'm gonna go get my mom to help me out. Okay, so we're done with all 4 of the beams, thanks to my mom. She found out they gave us 3 extra hooks, so thankfully you don't have to worry about not having enough. The next step is we're going to assemble the frame. And we're going to try to do this with less people. Usually you should have 4 people for assembling this. But ideally, we assemble one side and then another side. We stand them up and then we connect the 2. And these instructions are kind of annoying because you can tell this isn't the same gazebo. Particularly here. That's not what the part looks like on the edge. It doesn't look curved like that. But theoretically, it has the same holes. So we're going to use these longer, these have a 6mm Allen key on them. These longer bolts. And we're going to put them on the outside, so they go on the outside surface. So 4 at each corner. And then these number 1 bolts that we used before, they're going to go 4 on the inside. So 4 of these on the inside, 4 of these on the outside. So let's take one of these 8 bolts. And remember, the hooks are facing the bottom. And the hooks are also going to be on the inside corner. Sorry, facing the inside. So that should give you a bit of idea on how it's oriented. And I think what it looks like is that this goes on top of this. Like so. Okay, so this is pretty tough, but this is a pretty thin connection, so I'd be careful when you're lifting it up. We still need to get the outside screws in, so I'm going to try lean it against the ladder and try to screw in the outside one. Or maybe I could flip it over this way, but then again I could also bend this if I do that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, okay, so you can do this either while it's still on the ground and flipped over, or you can do while it's standing up. We're going to put the outside ones. So they have a 6mm Allen key, and they go in these holes. Okay, make sure your ladder is sturdy. And they go into these 2 holes. Yeah, so this is the issue I was talking about earlier, is that it's hard to do both the inside and the outside ones. Because when it's down on the ground like this, it's hard to access the bottom side. So we're gonna unscrew it to give it a bit of leniency. Oh, sorry. And hopefully unscrewing it should give us enough to push it. Otherwise, we're going to completely unscrew it and then just redo it. Oh, and look at this, guys. On the bottom, you can't see it, but the screw is already stripped. Like the bolt, I've carved a circle into the hexagon. Alright, so we got the strip screw out using a Dremel. So we sliced it and then we put the screwdriver on the edge to give it more torque, and then we hit it with a hammer. So I guess from now on we're going to try doing the outside first. Although I'm not really sure how that's going to solve our problem with the alignment. It's also still kind of a predicament to screw it on. But let's do that. Okay, so yeah, it's a pretty tough situation, but I think what we're going to do is just going to flip it and do the outside first. Seems like it'll be better that way. Do 2 of these, and then we're going to connect them lastly. Well, we won't tighten it fully, just to give it a bit more tolerance. Alright, and then we're going to pull this up. Maybe we'll screw in the inside while it's here. And then we're going to get that ready for putting the last 2 on. So we can't really show this on video, but it would be good to have 2 or 3 people to do this. We're gonna have 2 people, so that one's resting against the ladder. We're gonna have 1 person stand here and hold this vertically and align it, while 2 people raise the beam and then fix it to that corner, to that corner. You could probably get by with 2 people if you just had one of them hold onto this beam, and then you already had this fixed in place, and then you just try to have the second person align that assembly while you fix this together. But we can't really show it on camera because we only have 3 people today. So we'll show you what it looks like after it's done. Okay, so we finished one side. You can get it done with 2 people by having this one leaned against a stable structure like another canopy. But you can see that once this is on, we can get the last one on pretty easily. Alright. So that's all 4 of the beams up. That took us, what, an hour and a half to get to this point? So good time so far. We're not tightening them all the way yet, so that we can give some of the other parts a bit of leeway to get screwed in. But so far, looks like everything's okay. Alright, so next step is putting these triangles to reinforce it, which those are parts H. I guess we'll do that last, and then we'll continue on after that with building the roof structure. So that's gonna be from an outside corner. You want to put H on the right and H1 on the left, and you want to use number 1 screws. So again, from the outside corner, this is H. You want to put it like this. Huh. Interesting. So if this is H, then this would be H1. Okay. Let's just do that real quick. So H1 is gonna go here. And regular H is going to go here. Make sure you line it up with these tabs, and this tab goes on the inside. And then this lines up here. And this lines up here. Okay, so now you want to screw them in, and you want to do that around all 4 sides. Okay, so now that we have the main vertical structure done, we're going to finish off this video here. In the next video, we're going to start building the roof support structure, and then the video after that, we'll put on the roof. But for now, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Aiman. Today I help you build your hardtop gazebo. If this video helped you, please let me know in the comments down below. If you noticed anything wrong with your construction while you're building it, feel free to comment about it. We had a lot of issues with like cross threads and strip screws, and of course cheap quality. So it comes with the price. But I'm Aiman, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Signing out. Peace. So already we've built the main supports, and we've screwed it to the ground using the anchors. We've tried checking how level it is, and it's mostly level. You can see it's still a tiny bit off. Then this outside part would be protected by G3. So my dad used that reasoning to switch his decision. So now we're going to place the nice side on the inside. Okay, so I was able to just wiggle it around. Yeah, so I just pushed the actual roof back and forth until finally I was able to get it fully out. And now there we go. See, takes a pretty long time to do the roof. I think just one side takes like 1 to 2 hours. So expect the entire thing to take 4 to 8 hours, depending on how comfortable you are with it. But we're gonna take a break here. Me and my dad are probably going to finish it tonight. We don't want to do it tomorrow because we might not wake up in time for it to be not hot. And then by then, all the parts are going to be super hot. And also, we don't want any of the raccoons to walk on it. So we'll probably try